Today is the July 4th, and we are celebrating freedom. As I'm recording this video, it's right around 8 p.m., and I'm starting to hear the fireworks. In just a few minutes, it's all going to start here. By the time I publish this video, it's going to be another 24 hours or maybe another 16 to 18 hours. So for you, it could be July 16th. I'm sorry, July 5th. And it depends when you're watching this. But as I'm recording, this is the July 4th. It is, it is the Declaration of Independence Day for us here in USA. While we celebrate freedom outside, many remain prisoners within. People are stuck, and there is fear, there is hesitation, there is self-doubt. And what I wanted to do on this video today is I wanted to share with you some of my thoughts around fear and how you can overcome fear. If this is something that's perplexing you, it's stopping you from creating any level of success you want, I want to share about 9 specific principles or steps that will move you from fear to freedom. You can act boldly, you can create the life that you want, and you will become authentic with yourself. That's the idea behind this video. On this channel, I have shared multiple, across my podcast and also across multiple videos on this channel. I talked about, fear, how to overcome fear. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to be talking about a very specific book that fundamentally shifted my understanding about fear. So if you stay till the end of this video, then you'll get that. I say that because I want you to stay. But listen, if this video is not of value to you, you watch this video maybe a minute or two, and you don't find value, by all means, you should leave, okay? Because your time is precious. And if you're watching this video, do me a favor, watch it at about maybe 1.5 times the speed. And you can do that by clicking the settings button on your app or on your desktop, wherever you're watching this video. That way you can watch this much faster. You don't need to deal with my slow speaking, okay? And towards the end, if you find this video to be valuable, helpful, then by all means, like the video. If you subscribe to this channel, I'm there in front of you literally every day. That's my cadence right now. That's how I produce videos here on the channel. So that all said, let's get into this. What will take you quickly from fear to freedom? That's the purpose behind this video. The first and foremost is that you got to name your fear. I work with people, I see people not naming their fear. Okay, freedom starts with truth, and you need to sit down and write down specifically what is that fear. Give a name, give a meaning, give a structure to the fear. Because fear in general, if you just, I'm fearful, what are you fearful of? Fear is vague. Fear is vague. It's designed to cloud your mind, your thinking. So the more specific you become, the more you are closer to the truth, the more you control, the more you get a grasp on truth, the more quicker you get to the freedom. Okay, we got to identify the true fear. That's the idea. Then we got to interrupt the spiral. That's the second thing. Interrupt the spiral. How you do that? You do that using some metaphors, some physical anchors, physical anchors to break this cycle almost instantly. I talk about things like, touching your finger, pinching your hand somewhere. Every time you have the thought, that fear kicking in, you pinch, you say, oh, I need to stop this. Sometimes, breathing, all that stuff. So anything that's physical, the idea is to just anchor yourself to one small little activity that interrupts the fear at its nascent state, like literally when it's starting. Then we do what is called micro bravery training. And what it means is taking small steps, even though you're uncomfortable. Daily actions. What it does, it builds, courage. The idea is to build courage, but the idea is to kind of both. One is to see, the more you're educated about the fear that you define in the first step, and the only way to deal with fear is by educating yourself, by building knowledge about it. So You take micro steps. Each step will take you closer to the freedom, but each step is also making you aware, making you knowledgeable to deal with the fear. So you kind of stack this. You keep on stacking, and it's just a matter of time before the fear becomes secondary completely. Okay. Then the next step is to redefine failure as data. That's the fourth step. Redefine failure as data. Um, if you create that frame where everything that you're doing is because you want to collect data, so you want to improve. So failure itself becomes data. So the idea is every setback you have is for you to get informed. And when you do that, the setbacks or whatever fear you have of not doing something, you do it because you have this frame that I need to be informed if I have failure. So failure in general will never define you. Most people get defined by failure. We are going to avoid that by simply, just using the word failure equals to data. We are redefining failure. Okay. Then the next step is to rehearse the win. Most people don't. Some people say, how did you practice speaking? Do you do, like what kind of? I say, listen, I'm not a good speaker. I miss my points. I miss my thought, my train of thought. I lose, and my only practice is honestly this right now. Every day I do this, and I have principles through which I operate on this channel, which is I only do one take. I go from the beginning to the end. Even if I have deficiencies, I lose my thought, I just leave it in the recording. Most of the times people don't watch my videos all the way to the end anyway. So even my imperfections, if they're caught on the camera, they are there maybe in the 4th minute or 5th minute. My average time is about 2 minutes anyway. So they never see it. But I know when I see my videos, then I made this mistake. I lost a thought here. I paused here. I should have been very careful. I was looking here. I should be looking here. I was looking down. I improve. My failure is becoming my data. It's not defining me. It's setting me up for bigger success. So eventually, when I really speak big time, then I'm prepared because all these are micro steps. So what I'm doing here is I'm rehearsing the win. I'm visualizing the success. Most people don't. When they're fearful, they cannot visualize success. All they visualize is failure. So when you visualize your success under pressure, you normalize courage. Courage is automatic. You have the courage now to go do whatever you want to do. So people say, I don't have the courage. No, you normalized courage. So courage is already inbuilt because you are visualizing success. So when the real showtime starts, you're already there. Okay. Now, talking about showtime, it's always advisable to build a pre-event ritual. So you're fearful of getting on stage, you're fearful of recording a video, you're fearful in, like applying for a job, whatever, or making an offer or closing the sale. Doesn't matter wherever you are in your life journey, whatever the fear is that you have in your heart, in your mind, you're about to take an action. So you build what is called a pre-action ritual. What it does is for example, I used to do whenever I used to do radio shows. I don't do anymore, but or have not done for a long time. Right before my radio show used to start, I used to stand outside the studio, and like I get there 5 or 7 minutes early, and then I stand leaning like this to the wall, and the door is right here, and I'm like going through a self-hypnosis routine for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then I walk in, then I take control of the mic. So that's my pre-action ritual. You can do breath work. You breathe, you exhale, inhale. People want to activate their vagus nerve, whatever it is. Some people do, I take a power posture, right? They do posturing before whatever the event is. You can do that too. Whatever. But pre-event rituals are proven to put you in a trance which eventually responsible for taking you away from your fear and more closer to your freedom or to the success, whatever you're seeking. The next one is you got to audit. Seventh one, audit your inputs. By audit, what I mean is look at your environment, what environment you are in. Look at your daily conversations, people who you talk to, whom you spend time with. They're talking negative. You are in a toxic environment. You are being looked down upon. You are being pulled down by words, by statements from people. Replace that. Audit and replace. How do you replace? For example, I looked at my environment. I cannot record these videos in my house because there is a lot of noise, and I can't control the sound. I can't control distractions. So I'm in my car. I record in my car. I did the audit. I'm here. Question is, you audit, and then you start replacing. You replace scrolling with reading or listening, or some good conversations, some podcasts. You replace your bad environment, good environment. Go to a place where things are happening. Go to a coffee shop. If your house is not a place for you to work, go to a coffee shop, sit down, take your laptop, sit down, and start creating something meaningful. Or if you having incorrect friends and incorrect conversations, go to a place where you have good conversations and some great friends. Simple. Okay. Then you got to invest in your readiness. Go study books, meet some people, create a plan. This is where I want to go, this is where I am, what are the steps, who is going to help me in with those steps, and what does it take. And I'm very fearful, I don't know where to go, what to do. You got to move anyway, so why not move with some readiness? Okay. Fear, in the last one, the ninth one, fear is according to me is a vector. It's a compass. So you got to have fear, but you also need, when you couple fear with curiosity, that's when growth happens. You have fear, but what if I overcome this? What if I do it anyway? What if I take some chances? Growth happens. Many years ago, I think over nearly 20 years to this date, a very good friend of mine, the renowned real estate investor, one of my dear friends, mentors, you can call, somebody who I looked up to back in the day, by the name of Sharif Medawar. I want you to look him up if you want. Incredible man, incredible, his teachings, his philosophies. One day walked up to me and gifted me a book. The book, or the title of the book is The Power of Focus. He said, Srini, read this book. And I read that book probably, 100 times. I can tell you what is written where in that book. I'm going to bring that book. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to record a video on the power of focus. But in that book, I read for the very first time a statement. Everything that you want and you deserve is on the other side of fear. You got to cross over anyway. Incredible statement. Changed my life. Everything that you want and everything that you deserve is on the other side of fear. Thanks to Mark Victor Hansen, Jack Canfield, Les Hewitt, wrote this incredible book. It's in my possession even today. In fact, I walked up to the legend Mark Victor Hansen in one of the events and said, Mark, can you please sign this book for me? He did. I'm going to talk about that book, and some of my takeaways tomorrow in the video. If you subscribe to this channel, you'll get the video anyway. But listen, the idea of today's video is that we all are self-imprisoned till we are self-discovered. So please, the idea is for you to self-discover yourself. That's the purpose of this channel. That's the purpose of all the videos I create here. So do me a favor, drop me a comment, and that way I know you watched this video. That way I can interact with you. And if you subscribe, I'm there in front of you literally every day. Only subscribe if you found value. If not, please don't. Okay, that's all for now. Again, happy July 4th to you. Wherever you are, you be safe, and I'll be with you as early as tomorrow. Thank you. Bye now.